Right, the big political story today, Sunetra Pawar, wife of NCP chief, the late Ajit Pawar, took oath today as the first woman deputy chief minister of Maharashtra. This comes just days after Ajit Pawar died in a plane crash in Baramati. Sunetra Pawar was unanimously elected as the NCP legislature party leader earlier in the day. Her name was proposed by party leader Chhagan Bhujbal and seconded by others. During the swearing-in ceremony, there were chants of Ajit Dada Amar Rahe, long live Ajit Pawar. And however, Sharad Pawar and Supriya Sule skipped the swearing-in ceremony. Earlier, Sunetra Pawar was at the assembly and attended the legislative party meeting where she was elected unanimously as the NCP legislative party leader. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended wishes to Sunetra Pawar on assuming office as the first woman deputy chief minister of the state, and he said that Sunetra will fulfill Ajit Pawar's vision.
पहले जो है उप मुख्यमंत्री जो है एक महिला महाराष्ट्र राज्य को मिली है। हम तो चाहेंगे कि महिला मुख्यमंत्री भी बननी चाहिए, मगर यह है कि जो हादसा हुआ है अजीत दादा के बारे में वो अभी भी सबके नज़रों के सामने है। फिर भी जो है कि 3 दिन अभी मिले सब लोग और ठीक ढंग से जो है एक मत से जो है ये तय हुआ कि उनको जो है हम लीडर, हमारा नेता चुनेंगे।
सुनेत्रा वहिनी ने हमेशा अजीत दादा का कठिन समय में टाइम दिया है, कठिन समय में उनका साथ दिया है और आज जब महाराष्ट्र को ज़रूरत है तब भी सुनेत्रा वहिनी जी ने ये इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी ली है, तो कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए बहुत अच्छा है। और अजीत दादा हमेशा लाडकी बहनों के भाई माने जाते थे, तो आज अगर एक महिला डेप्यूटी सीएम आ रही है महाराष्ट्र में तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है हम सबके लिए, राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी में।
महिला उप मुख्यमंत्री बनी है, वो बात एक बात अच्छी भी है और दूसरी तरफ से दादा हमारे में नहीं है, ये बात बुरी भी है। अब ऐसे सिचुएशन में हमको तो आगे जाना है और हमारे पास में कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है। हमारे पास में एक ही ऑप्शन है सुनेत्रा वहिनी, जो हमको लेके सबको लेके साथ में लेके चल सकती है और उनके फैमिली में से किसी न किसी को आगे आना था, तो वहिनी की शपथ विधि हुई है और हमको लगता है कि वो अच्छा काम करेंगे।
अजीत दादा पवार एक बहुत ही नेक आदमी थे, बहुत काम करने वाले थे और 3 दिन पहले ही उनका एयरपोर्ट क्रैश में मृत्यु हुआ है और महाराष्ट्र की पहली घटना है। और कुछ नेता मतलब एयरपोर्ट क्रैश में चले गए थे, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र की पहली घटना थी और अजीत दादा पवार रुकने वाले नहीं थे, काम करने वाले थे। कोई दुख का समय आता है तो भी उसको बाजू में रखकर नेक्स्ट डे काम पे लगते थे। इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ अजीत दादा जी की याद रखने के लिए बहुत जल्दी शपथ जरूर हो रहा है और सुनेत्रा पवार जी डिप्टी सीएम बन गई, पहली महाराष्ट्र की डिप्टी सीएम महिला बन गई है, तो उनको हमारी शुभेच्छा है। दादा के याद में वो बहुत अच्छा काम करते रहे, ऐसा हमको विश्वास है।
मतलब पूरे महाराष्ट्र के लिए, स्पेशली राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए फिर से एक हिस्ट्री क्रिएट करने के लिए, क्योंकि हमारे पास पहले कभी महिला उप मुख्यमंत्री पद नहीं आया किसी के, मतलब महाराष्ट्र में पहली महिला डीसीएम होने के लिए और हिस्ट्री बनाने के लिए हम सबको ऐसा लग रहा है कि एक प्राउड मोमेंट है, क्योंकि हमने देखा है वही लगातार सोशल वर्क में महिलाओं के लिए, युवकों के लिए बहुत काम किया करती थी। अब उसका जो बेनिफिट है पूरे महाराष्ट्र को देखने मिलेगा।
Now some breaking news coming in, and the first statement by Sunetra Pawar after she took oath as Deputy Chief Minister. She writes in this statement that Ajit Dada spent his life giving a mantra of existence to farmers, labourers, women and the youth. And she says, as I carry forward this legacy, I do so with unwavering loyalty to the ideologies of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Mahatma Phule, Shahu Maharaj and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. She also acknowledged the mountain of grief that has fallen upon the state, but emphasized that the late leader's devotion to duty and honest commitment to the people would serve as her guiding light. That is Sunetra Pawar's first statement coming after she took oath as the Deputy Chief Minister. Earlier today, she was also elected as the chief of the NCP party in the Assembly, the Legislative Party. Also, she was elected, and then she was sworn in at 5 o'clock as the Deputy Chief Minister. Though this comes at a time when many are wondering about her hold on the party and the challenges going forward as well. It also comes at a time when the larger family, the Pawar family, cracks are emerging, with Sharad Pawar having stated earlier today that he was not aware that Sunetra Pawar was going to be sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister. He had in fact called a meeting in Baramati. However, Sunetra Pawar and her son had left Baramati yesterday evening to come to Mumbai. So those are the larger challenges that are going to be faced by Sunetra Pawar as she attempts to fill the shoes of her husband, who was one of the big leaders of Maharashtra. Remember, he had the control over the NCP. He broke the NCP that was founded by his uncle Sharad Pawar and managed to take most of the top leadership as well as the MLAs along with him. He's also someone who was known to be, a party worker, someone who could travel to any part of the constituencies and knew all workers by their names. Now, Sunetra Pawar has a big task ahead of her. Well, to talk more about her first statement, we're joined by Saurabh Vakhtani on the phone joining us. Saurabh, so this is Sunetra Pawar's first statement where she talks about carrying forward Ajit Pawar's legacy, also talks about the mountain of grief that has fallen upon the state.
Well, absolutely. This is the first statement which is issued by Sunetra Pawar after taking the oath at Raj Bhavan today evening. Remember, she is the first woman Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister, and the statement is very important. Remember that she clearly states that she is going to take forward the legacy of her husband, late Ajit Pawar. That's the Shiv Sahu Phule Ambedkar legacy, which always we have seen that how Ajit Pawar used to say. The further important statement which is given by Sunetra Pawar is to strengthen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 to achieve the all-round development of Maharashtra under the guidance of Union Home Minister Amit Shah. She has also taken name of that under the leadership of Chief Minister of Maharashtra Devendra Fadnavis, and alongside Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, I will always strive for overall development of Maharashtra, social equality, economic progress and inclusive perspective. Now remember, this is a clean statement which has been given by Sunetra Pawar. There are lot many answers which she needs to give as of now. Now the most important part over here is what she has to say about the things which are going on within the both factions of NCP. Clearly, the NCP faction of Sharad Pawar has always said from last 2 days that the both NCP party was supposed to come together. There were several rounds of meetings which were happened by Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar and alongside different leaders, and in fact they also went on to say that 12th February was decided that when this particular union of both the parties was going to happen. Now, Sunetra Pawar is currently at Devgiri. What we have been told that she will be leaving for Baramati tonight, and she is expected to speak to media tomorrow. It will be interesting to know what Sunetra Pawar has to say about first whether both the NCP party will be coming together, because she has been elected at the party head at the national level, which happened in the afternoon today at Vidhanbur. And the second is very most important, that what will be the future plan of the NCP, whether they are going.
All right, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. So the first reaction, first statement coming there of Sunetra Pawar after she was sworn in as Deputy Chief Minister. So a historic milestone for the state where Sunetra Pawar sworn in as the state's first ever Deputy Chief Minister. However, a woman Deputy Chief Minister, however, it does come after in very tragic circumstances. But while the oath ceremony was underway, there were cracks within the NCP and within the Pawar family that were becoming wider. NCP SP Chief Sharad Pawar stated in the morning he was never consulted, placing the decision squarely on the shoulders of Praful Patel and Sunil Tatkare. And it's not just the patriarch. Supriya Sule was notably absent from the ceremony. In fact, she was seen there in Baramati telling reporters that she knew nothing about the oath taking, that she was headed to Delhi for the budget session. Meanwhile, Rohit Pawar, nephew of Ajit Pawar, said that no one can replace Ajit Dada. He said one can see his reflection in Sunetra Pawar. Then he admitted that the family is immersed in mourning and is finding it very difficult to celebrate. However, family aide Kiran Gujar claimed that a 3-day Baramati meeting mediated by Parth Pawar had successfully cleared communication gaps within the family, though that is, however, being questioned, that particular claim. Well, let's now go across to our guest to talk more about what all these developments mean for Maharashtra going forward, for the NCP, also for the Pawar family. We're joined by Tushar Gupta, political analyst, Jayant Mainkar, political analyst, Sudhir Suryavanshi, author and senior editor, New Indian Express, and Smriti Kopikar, senior journalist. Thank you so much for joining us. And Tushar Gupta, first to you, what do you see as the immediate challenges to Sunetra Pawar?
Good evening, Gargi. Look, it's a very tragic and it's a very quiet reminder of how in public life, even personal loss and tragedy have to take a back seat. Now, the day the news of the plane crash came in a lot of media quarters, in a lot of political quarters, the question was, where do the 40-odd MLAs of the NCP look at? There was never the question of the government stability in Maharashtra, because together the BJP and Shiv Sena had credible numbers, strong numbers. But it was all about giving that leadership to the 40-odd MLAs. In the parliament, the NCP Ajit Pawar faction did not perform really well, as did the NDA in 2024 elections. But a party is as good as the last election it fights. And in Maharashtra, somehow Sharad Pawar faction really did not get the momentum they would have thought in the assembly elections of 2024. So it was the Ajit Pawar faction that was in a commanding position. Now, if you look at it from the perspective of Sunetra Pawar, this is also about carrying forward the legacy of Ajit Pawar. This is also about carrying forward the faction which Ajit Pawar took away from the party, which Ajit Pawar formulated away from the party, and he even sustained it after a loss in the Lok Sabha elections. But let's look at the last couple of elections, Gargi. What is the political capital of the Ajit Pawar faction and now the Sunetra Pawar faction versus
All right,
the
we'll
Sharad
come to
Pawar
that
faction?
larger picture in a bit, but yes, you're describing why this haste. It was just Wednesday when this, shocking, tragic death of Ajit Pawar took place. It's Saturday, and Sunetra Pawar has been sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister. Jayant Mainkar, your view on what this now means going forward for the Pawar family, for the NCP, because Sharad Pawar very clearly said that he did not know about this. There's also talk about how Sunetra Pawar left Baramati, yesterday suddenly, and what this now means after what Sharad Pawar said regarding what Ajit Pawar, that he had wanted that both factions should come together. They even had a date in mind.
So, Gargi, it's a fact that now what Sharad Pawar had said that Ajit and here Jayant Patil had a meeting, and on 12th February the merger announcement was also decided. That's what he had said. But the way he had said that he was not aware Sunetra Pawar is going to take oath as a deputy CM. That means clear cut. There are fissures, there are complete cracks in Pawar family, with Ajit Pawar faction going one way while the remaining Pawar faction are another way. See, though there were talks of the merger, the point is this: at Maha Aghadi, with 7 MPs of Sharad Pawar and only one from Ajit Pawar camp, at 40 plus 10, that is 50 odd legislatures. So at the center, you are supporting Maha Aghadi, that is anti-BJP, and at the state, you will be the Mahayuti in Mahayuti. Is it possible? So it's not going to happen. So cracks are bound to be there. Then unlikely that the two parties would come together. Even it's a fact that Sharad Pawar and even Supriya Sule will never join with Mahayuti also. And as she is already elected as the president, she is now deputy CM, and on her Rajya Sabha seat, her son Parth will go. The fissures, the cracks within Pawar family will continue to erupt. But let's see how long it will take. But it's a 3 years time as far as the elections are concerned. But I don't think anything major will happen. But I think it's BJP, it's Devendra Fadnavis who has played his cards very well, because as he was well aware, all the 50 legislatures, with the death of Ajit Pawar, they are obviously having loyalty with Sharad Pawar. In fact, let me tell you, Dilip Walse Patil had worked as a personal assistant to Sharad Pawar way back in 80s. So obviously all those people were having loyalty with Sharad Pawar. So if he would have tried, and we know in 2019 rebellion, when Ajit Pawar revolted, that time within sitting in his bungalow only, Sharad Pawar managed to quell that rebellion. So knowing Sharad Pawar's capacity that he could do in the sort of merger of the two parties, so Devendra Fadnavis acted swiftly, and that's why she was immediately made the deputy CM. Of course, was there any need? Now this question is frequently asked: was there any need of deputy CM? Obviously, Deputy CM is not the post for without which the state cannot function. But this was precisely done at the behest of BJP, at the behest of Devendra Fadnavis, particularly by that party which always criticizes Nehru Gandhi clan for being a parivarik politics, for being nepotism, Lalu Rabadi and all that. But they are doing the same thing. Ajit, Sunetra, they are with their blessings.
All
They
right,
have
Parivar, Wadi there happening within Maharashtra. But Smriti Kopikar, your comments on this? Yes, our reporters were saying about how immediately after Ajit Pawar's death, within a day there was a message sent out to Sunetra Pawar that things had to move fast. It is, nobody wanted that vacuum. Clearly, for the Mahayuti, they wanted some stability on that front, and especially with Sharad Pawar there, knowing his influence over the party leaders and the party workers.
Clearly, to my mind, what we are seeing of Sunetra Ajit Pawar is what we are seeing on the screen. There are strings being pulled behind. We don't know, it's not completely clear who exactly is pulling them, but we can have our guesses, and those guesses might land right. The questions I would look at this point would be, number one, who benefits from keeping NCP divided? The answer is blowing in the wind. It's very clear. It's the ruling party. Number two, will Sunetra Pawar actually fill in the gap, the void, the vacuum that Ajit Pawar leaves behind? I think let's cut through the clutter. She is not what he was. It will take her a long time to learn the ropes of actually doing the administrative work, even though I've been saying this, that she has learned politics by osmosis, by watching her natal family, her maternal family, her brother, her in-laws, all of that. But she hasn't actually occupied a constitutional official position, which she now does. She also did not lead a party before this. That comes with its bag of thorns, with conflicting demands of people, elected people, people who run the party and all of that. She has a lot to unravel, grasp, take charge of. What I would be watching is who forms the coterie around her. Who does she seek guidance from? And that would tell us a lot about how the developments of the last 2 or 3 days turned out.
All right, Sudhir.
The question number 3 in my mind is if ultimately Ajit Pawar's and the NCP had to be led by a Pawar, if that's what we are hearing, that there has to be a Pawar at the helm, then really, as the question that was brought up here a minute ago, what is dynastic politics being rubbished for? Right in front of our eyes, very openly, we are seeing politics of inheritance. Mrs. Sunetra Pawar being sworn in only because she is the widow of Ajit Pawar. And so where will this kind of dynastic politics take the party? Like all regional parties, the Nationalist Congress Party as well, we've seen this with the Shiv Sena, we see this with a number of other regional parties. They tend to be led by a leader, and then the succession moves in a dynastic fashion, and then what? And therefore, the question really for the NCP is what after the Pawars, or what beyond the Pawars? And therefore, that leads me to my last question, which is, are there people within the NCP that perhaps want to integrate with the BJP, maybe change ship and just join the BJP, and then the game is really over?
Made to Sudhir Suryavanshi, because let's not be shy to name names. There are certain leaders. Sharad Pawar spoke about Praful Patel, Sunil Tatkare. He named, saying that they were the ones who really orchestrated this. So Sudhir Suryavanshi, do you have an answer to that question that Smriti has posed?
See, the way Sharad Pawar took the name of Praful Patel, Sunil Tatkare, I think Munde also, I think these are the same people. When there was a conflict was going on within the NCP before the rebellion of the Ajit Pawar, when the Ajit Pawar, rebelled against his uncle Sharad Pawar. That time in the Sharad Pawar and his camp, people were blamed not Ajit Pawar. Sharad Pawar didn't blame his nephew Ajit Pawar, but he blamed same people, Sunil Tatkare, Praful Patel, and Dhananjay Munde. They thought that Ajit was very nice, but these people spoiled his mind and made opinion to join the hand with the BJP. And I think same thing is happening right now also. The same people pursued the Ajit Pawar, wife Sunetra Pawar to take the oath as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra and not to go back to the uncle Sharad Pawar, his father, or father-in-law Sharad Pawar, but straight away come back to the Mumbai and take and sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. First thing. Second thing, there is also clear-cut divide within the Pawar family. Now Sunetra Pawar, Jay Pawar, Parth Pawar had decided to walk away from the Pawar conglomerate. As per my information, I spoke with a couple of people in the Baramati. There was a decision within the Pawar family for the at least 13 days. That is called the Uttar Karya of the, as per the Hindu rituals. Once the Uttar Karya is over of Ajit Pawar, then only the political decision or political statement will be made by the Pawar family. But surprisingly, even Ajit Pawar mother was not in mood to do all these things. She is also quite sick and ill. And but surprisingly, Sunetra Pawar has taken the different decision and walked away from the Pawar conglomerate and decided to chart away different territory along with her sons and the people who supported her husband during the crisis time, the rebellion time. And now she has chosen the different path altogether. Now we have to see how she and her party will survive with remaining with the BJP, because it's very tough. She is not Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar was quite popular among the many faction, many communities. She has got good experience of the local thing, but not the administrative thing, not as open political things. So it is big shoes to, step in, big shoes to fill in for her.
In fact, we do know that she has got all the portfolios that Ajit Pawar had, except, of course, the main one, which is, finance, the finance portfolio, which has been kept by Devendra Fadnavis. And we do remember Ajit Pawar going and really fighting and insisting that he would keep that portfolio earlier on. But as you said, Sunetra Pawar is a novice, so perhaps she can't have that portfolio at the start. But it'll be interesting to see whether they push for it to come back to the party. Tushar Gupta, given all that has been said about what took place behind the scenes, the strings being pulled, the pressure from the BJP perhaps to quickly fill in that, grab the power and not let that vacuum be maintained for a long time. Your comments on this and the fact that now, it seems both the Pawar families are, there's a major crack in it, may not be something that can be easily, some sort of rapprochement taking place, won't be happening anytime soon.
I was just watching a broadcast early in the day and they called it the Bahu Beti politics, because you have the daughter-in-law on one side and the daughter on another side. But I want to be very honest about the kind of generosity that has been showered on Sharad Pawar. Let's not forget, in the assembly election, both the factions are the difference of a 2 percentage point in their vote share. But NCP Ajit Pawar faction ended up with 40 seats. The local body elections, which would have been a good litmus test for the popularity of Sharad Pawar, even in the core regions, the Pune Municipality Corporation, Pimpri-Chinchwad region, Kolhapur, Solapur, Ajit Pawar faction was way ahead and the BJP was far ahead of both the factions. So at some place, we also have to understand the 40 MLAs are looking at their political future. Sunetra Pawar also understood where the faction wanted to go. And what do they really have to gain while going with Sharad Pawar? 2029 is a long term away. The government is quite stable both in the state and the center. So for those MLAs, it was also about what can Sharad Pawar really do for them when he himself wasn't very popular in the local body elections.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much all for joining us. Completely out of time. But yes, lots can happen in politics. We'll have to wait and see. Sunetra Pawar, the first Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Lots of challenges ahead. We'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, exclusive interview with Piyush Goyal. Stay with us.